Hey everyone, welcome in. I am Julie Maxon, the Maine Stamper. I am an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up, and I am here for your weekly card class from Maine. I live in Carmel, Maine, and I am close to the Bangor area, and we are in March mudness right now. So that's a little bit of a fun fact for me. I would love if you would share a fun fact about what's going on in your world right now. I know that I have some friends that follow me and watch from all over the place. It's always exciting to have a little information on what you guys are up to as well. So please say hi as you jump on. I'd love to know that you're watching and hanging out with me. We have a really wonderful card class. I missed you guys last week. It's been a couple weeks since I've been live doing a card class, and we are back to it now. So much going on this week as well. We're going to first of all say that I'm doing the Thankful Gardens card class. It is a really fantastic bundle. I absolutely adore it. And you're going to adore it too. Now this bundle comes with masks, so if you're new to masks or if you're not really sure how they work, I'm going to share with you some tips and ways that you can use them. We're going to explore lots of colors tonight, and I shouldn't say lots of colors. We're definitely exploring a lot of green colors tonight, so that's going to be really exciting. And we have some great stuff happening. Hi Janice, thanks for letting me know we're good. I just want you to know also that this bundle, the Thankful Garden bundle, is going to be the featured bundle for my March Card Maker Club. Now, Card Maker Club, hi Michelle, good to see you. Card Maker Club is an awesome opportunity to get even more card kits, more product in the mail, and have so much more fun. Okay, we've got some good friends on here. Thanks, Sandra. Good to see you here. So we're going to pop over to my workspace. I am not going to be able to see your messages while I'm at my workspace, but I do check them out later on because you guys always make me smile. So I really appreciate all your love and support. All right, so let me see if I can get us transitioned over to my workspace, and here we go. The Thankful Garden card class. So what you're seeing right now is the Thankful Garden bundle. We're going to talk a little bit about the bundle. So again, you've got a stamp set. This is photopolymer, and I have the big ones are mounted up. Actually, quite a few of these are mounted up. There's two large flowers. You can see the hydrangea, and I'm not sure, flower garden friends, what this one is. It's a very generic flower, and I love that it is so generic. We have a few sentiments in here. The bottom one here is the biggest. Thankful for you, friend. And then over here we've got you make a difference, and we have with love, and you can also do with love and thanks. So this and thanks is really tiny but super sweet. There's some leaves here that you can stamp if you're looking for something on the inside, or maybe your envelopes. And then there's some little details that you can put into your flowers. So these two right here are going to go into these flowers, and then these little bits right here, they go nicely into the hydrangea. Now I'm not going to use all the little bits tonight. I'm really going to focus on the big flowers and the masks. So I've got the masks right here. I'm really excited to share those with you. But first, let's take a look at the dies. So we have, these are the dies we're going to be using tonight. We've got the outlines of the large flowers. This one right here is going to die cut, and I know that the stamped images are smaller. They're 70%. This is going to die cut just the smaller flower. It's not the big one, it's the small one right here. So you can get individual flowers right here, or of course you can fussy cut too, right? And then there are some really great bonus dies. I call these bonus because they don't outline anything in the stamp set, but I love leafy patterns. So there's two of those. They're obviously very different. We're going to be using those tonight. What we're not using, not pictured, right, is some of these other smaller items. So you've got some for the leaves, right? And what's nice about this is you have three. There's three of the small leaves and three of the smaller leaves. Let's call them small and smaller. That's fun, right? So these three are the exact same, and these three are the exact same. So you can stamp a bunch and die cut at once. You don't have to do these individually. And that's always really nice when you have the ability to get more cranked through your die cutting machine than, you know, one at a time, especially when they're tiny. Now this one right here, very similar to the other small flower that I shared with you right here. This one is going to actually die cut out part of your hydrangea. So you can just get kind of a little splattering of petals with this one. So I wanted to share with you how those all work in case you haven't seen them yet. Now I haven't tried everything because I usually dive right in, do the cards for my class, and go from there. I will be doing deeper dives though, because again, this is the featured bundle for March Card Maker Club. So I'm going to be designing 4 more beautiful cards with this bundle, and it's going to be fantastic. Now, the masks come with the dies. So if you wanted to just buy the stamp set, you could. If you wanted to just buy the dies and the masks, you could. But of course, you really need them together. They work best together. Now, the masks, there's 5 of them, and they're numbered. So 1, 2, and 3 are all layering that you would do with either flower. So the hydrangea and then the mystery flower right here. I'm going to call that a mystery flower until someone tells me what it is. And then masks 4 and 5 are for the leaves. And I don't know how well you can see these or not, but we're going to be using them tonight. So this is the outline of the leaves, and this is more the detail. So they are numbered. It's really hard to see, but there's a little number here. There's also a little notch on the top of each one, and that helps you to line them up when you're lining up your masks. Now, I usually am a kind of a wing it girl, so I'm going to share with you how I'm going to wing this tonight. So that is a little bit about the Thankful Garden bundle, and this item is 165534 in case you want to check it out online. It is a whomping $64.75, so it is a little bit pricey. Again, you're getting stamp set, dies, and masks in the bundle. Okay, so you get all 3 of those things, $64.75. Card Maker Club members, if you want this bundle as part of your Card Maker Club, I am going to give it to you for the online price of $64.75. You're saving tax and shipping when you're in the club. That's one of my perks. So there'll be an email about that tomorrow. Now, tonight we're doing just a card class. This is just a very regular card class. Everybody can watch it for free. It's fantastic. But if you put an order in with me this week for $45, of your choice of stamping products, you're going to get the 4 card kits that I'm doing for our class. So there are 4 card kits. I should probably show you what they look like. We have this one. We have this one. Oh my gosh, if you guys love purple, tonight is your night. There is purple-ish color in every card. There's a little bit of purple. I was very purple happy with the hydrangeas. There's also ribbon. You can see some ribbon or twine. In each of your kits, you're getting some fun designer series paper. You're going to get an embossed piece. This is going to be awesome. So these are the 4 card kits that you're going to get with your $45 order this week before shipping and tax, and it's with my host code 7BS9B74X, and that is in the description. It will also be in your email if you need to link to that. When you order $55 in product this week, you're going to get the 4 card kits and the free embellishment. So I like to throw in an embellishment. Now I'm going to be using this one on my cards tonight. This is the Drusy Adhesive Backed Embellishment. So you may remember this from the fall catalog. This is still a current embellishment, and what's nice about it, it is so generic and sparkly. Look at the sparkle. You've got silver and gold, so this goes with everything. And if you want to save it for some Christmas cards, I mean, some of you guys start early. I know it's March, but you know, come on, right? Christmas colors, right? Okay, so that is your offer for today. You can ask me questions on that as we get going. Let me set some things aside so we can continue with our fun. So this is all about the masks, it's all about the inks, and we have to start with a card kit. And I forgot to mention that you may want to hang out with me for the whole class, because I'm also going to be sharing cards that we did with my bingo event the other night. I wanted to go back to Card Maker Club because I kind of forgot this part. So Card Maker Club, in case you're wondering, besides 8 card kits that will be different from tonight's card class, you're getting half a pack of this DSP. This is gorgeous DSP. And I want you to know that I'm not using this DSP in class tonight. I'm using other product. I like to save my Card Maker Club DSP only for Card Maker Club when I first start out. So there's some really gorgeous patterns here. Some of this DSP you can die cut with your dies, so you can do that right away. You'll get a half a pack of this. You'll get this sweet embellishment. This is the Starburst Sequins. So Fresh Freesia, Daffodil, and White are your colors here. It goes really nicely with the designer series paper. To be honest, I haven't decided which ribbon I'm going to put in kit yet. So it's going to either be this really nice white ribbon or this velvety Fresh Freesia ribbon. And I may ask my Card Maker Club members to vote for their favorite ribbon, because I'd like some input on what you would prefer to see in your Card Maker kit. Now I just am starting a Facebook group. I know I've got to get a bunch of you in there yet. So hold tight, but we're going to be doing that, and then you can vote and let me know which of those embellishments you would most like to see in Card Maker Club. All right, now back to the cards. On Saturday, I had a bingo class, and we did cards and bingo. It was in person. I shared lots of pictures on my Facebook page. It's really fun to see all the good stuff we did. Now, all of my stampers got a half a pack of this. This is the Everyday Skies Designer Series paper. So you're going to see in here imagery for skies. Look at this, the stars. I love the stars, right? So all of these are different background patterns that would be really great for some skies or other things too, right? I mean, so simple and beautiful. The back patterns are just really more plain and generic. But the reason that I'm sharing with you this paper is that I'm also going to be sharing with you the cards that we did at bingo. And all of the bingo cards are going to have this paper in them because my stampers got to cut their own paper and they even got to switch up patterns, which just everything about these events is just so much fun. So we're going to get going here and we're going to start with this card, and I'm going to share with you as I go all of the card details from the previous bingo event. So I took the same designs, I took the same card kit basically and turned it around a little bit because I wanted it to be obviously with Thankful Garden, and but I use the same exact layout. Now for this kit, you're getting a little bit of the Petunia Pop ribbon. Now this is Petunia Pop and Petal Pink. These are both current in colors, and they're sticking around for another year. There are 5 in colors that will be disappearing really soon. They are on low inventory, which is normal for this time of the year because they're going to be retiring in just a few more weeks. So you've got a really fun, playful flower pattern here, right? The flower colors, I should say. Now, I wanted to share with you this little piece of Designer Series paper is from the 24, now let's make that 25, 27. What is the year? Yes, 24, 26. I need to think about my years here for a second. So Stampin' Up! Has color family paper. It's all 6x6. And the paper pack with the current in colors that were new last year. You get these 4 different patterns. This is more than one stack of paper. I kind of buy in bulk here because I go through a lot of paper. So this is where this paper comes from. So you'll be able to use either side if you decide to do that. But I wanted to share with you where that paper comes from in case you're wondering where some of this comes from. This paper right here is the Wildflower Birthday. Let me see. I must have a paper on this somewhere. Where is my assistant to help me today? My assistant is not here. Let's go with Wildflower Birthday DSP. There we go. I was in the right ballpark, right? So this is your card kit. So if you want to just use this paper, it's got the gold foil on it. But we are going to do lots of fun things with this. Let me show you the card that inspired this one. So we had a card at bingo, and this is what we did. We worked with the Twisted in Time tongue twister, the Twisted in Time bundle. Now this is the tree, obviously we call it the tree bundle, and it has dies that go with it. So it has some really cool dies here. So this is what we made. So you can see our sky background Designer Series paper, and this is what inspired the card that we're working on next. So the next card, our tonight's card, the card from the class, is this one. So as I show them to you, I want you to kind of notice that the layout is basically the same. It's the same layers. We've got a piece coming across here. We've got our punch piece here. And instead of the tree, we have our hydrangea. A little bit of ribbon there as well. So this is the card that inspired this card. So that's awesome, right? I wanted to share that with you. Now the inks we're using for card number 1 are fun colors. Fresh Fuchsia, Old Olive, and Pretty in Pink. So these are really gorgeous colors together. Think spring, right? We're also using the, this is a punch in this, did I write this one down too? Labeled with Love Punch. This is the Labeled with Love Punch. So you're actually getting this punched piece in your kit. So you don't have to punch it out. It's coming to you. So just in case you're wondering what some of these products are, I'd like to share a little bit of that. All right, let's get going on this great card. There's a lot of just simple gluing to start out with, and then we're going to get into our flowers. So let's take all of these pieces. I want you to notice that this larger piece of white in your kit is your matte piece. This is going to be, the smaller piece is going to be what we're going to stamp and do our hydrangea on. So let's put these together, and I'm going to keep this cute little pink gingham pattern up. Hello, glue. Look at that. Oh my goodness. I opened a brand new bottle of glue right before I started tonight because my other bottle is like just about empty, and I thought, you know what, if I kept my old bottle, I'll probably run out right before I get through with the class. So I thought I'll be proactive and I will open a new bottle, and look, it just globbed right out there. Now normally I am really good friends with glue, but tonight, not so much. So I'm just going to take my fingernail and kind of just go along the edge where that is and try to clean up as much of that. I just like to scrape it along, clean up what I can. And I have a little adhesive remover. Hopefully the bubble of my glue is done being aggressive. My goodness, it came out of the gate fighting. So we're going to go ahead and mat up all of these layers. And I'm wondering if I put this to the top. No, I'm going to put it to the bottom. We'll put it to the bottom. I like to kind of clean glue off the bottom for some reason. I don't know why. So here's 3 pieces of cardstock and designer series paper. And we're just going to layer this right onto our card base. Now at this point, it doesn't matter which way your card opens because this paper is really forgiving. But if you're using a pattern paper, you always want to be mindful of where your up and down pattern is. And then we are going to switch this up today, I think. We're going to switch this up because I like to try to show you some different options. So I'm going to glue down this. I love the stripes. So it's almost like sigh. I have to glue that down, but I want to just change it up a little bit so that we can see the difference here between the two. All right, now that everything is nice and sticky, we're gonna try to not have this be too sticky, and then we're gonna get our some stamping in because you really came here to watch me with the masks and the coloring and such. Let me see if I can get some of this off of my work surface, or at least make it not quite as sticky, right? My goodness, sticky. Okay, let's start with our beautiful hydrangea stamp set. Now, again, photopolymer, you're going to need a bigger block for these because they are a little bit of a bigger stamp. And I wrote down some cheating notes, and hopefully this will help you too in case you're kind of watching at home and you're like, I like this, I want to try it. So we're going to stamp the flower in Old Olive. Now, you might be going like, what? Why are we stamping it in Old Olive? I like to experiment with some colors, and this is where I started. I started with Old Olive. We are going to use lots of different greens. I'm actually going to stamp this from this direction. Make sure you guys can see this. Ink this up, I should say. I'm inking it upside down because it's easier to apply your ink pad that way. So let us do that first, and this is going to fit on here really nicely. So we're going to put this on here in Old Olive, really sweet. And if you're looking for like a white hydrangea, this isn't a bad way to go because you've got just a soft green outline. And of course the leaves are green, right? So that makes the most sense. I'm going to go ahead and clean this up because we're going to be using this again tonight. So we're going to use this a couple of times so you can get some more ideas with it. All right, so now that we got our background stamping done, we're going to go ahead and we're going to bring out some of our masks. So let's pull them out right now. I need number 1. This is the outline of the hydrangea. And I also need looking at my numbers here, number 4. This is the outline of the leaves. So this one is pretty simple. We're just going to do a little bit of soft color on both the flower and the leaves, and then we're going to leave it. We're not going to get real fancy and add lots of color. We have all night to play with color together. So the first thing I'm going to do is figure out, I'm going to turn this a little bit and figure out the outline of my flower with the outline of my mask. And this may take me a minute because it's been a minute since I played with this. So we play the spinning puzzle. I have to figure this out. And I never pay attention to where my stamp is. This is the live version of Julie's winging it. And here we go. I just found it. Okay, so I've got this lined up. So all of the outline of my mask, which may be hard to see, but it's on here, is lined up to my flower. Now I don't glue I don't hold anything down. I'm not strapping these down. I'm just gonna I'm going for it. So I'm gonna bring in my Old Olive blender brush, ink. I'm going to hold down both at the same time. So oh my gosh, I'm doing the flower. What am I doing? The flower is not supposed to be green, Julie. It's supposed to be pink. Pink, pretty and pink. We may have to restamp this. Yes, let's start over. Okay, but you know what? That little bit of green, if you're going for white flowers, maybe that's where my brain was for a second. Redo, please. Rewind. We're going to rewind tonight. We're starting over. You would think this is my first day stamping. So please be laughing at home with me, not at me. Okay, thanks. All right, we're going to restamp on the opposite side of the paper, which is the two-sided white paper I like to send you. It's two-sided. And while I'm thinking about it, I should probably re-clean this because we are using it again. I didn't think we'd be using it again for the old olive, but here we are, right? Okay, I must have I have vacation on the brain because I am actually, in a few days, I'm leaving for Raleigh, North Carolina to go to Stampin' Up's convention. And I'm just getting super excited about the whole thing. So it is coming up so fast now. And my brain is a little bit scattered. More so than normal. Okay, now we're playing the spinning game again. I feel like it should still be kind of in the same direction. And I didn't pay attention last time. So we're getting close. We're right about here, I think. No, that is incorrect. Sorry. Oh my gosh. If you guys are watching me on YouTube or later on, please just fast forward for about 10 minutes because the struggle is real tonight. Oh my gosh. All right, I'm going to turn the whole thing around. And, oh my goodness, I'm determined to get this right. Let's see. Yeah, working on it. So when I said I wing it, normally when I'm not doing a live, it makes it it's a little bit easier. All right, we're just going to go in a circle here, and someone could be playing some background music probably, and we're going to get this figured out. Oh my goodness, it's a shame really because I had everything perfectly ready to go before, and here we are. All right, we are lined up now. Thanks for your patience with me while I'm trying to play along. Now, this is Pretty in Pink for the flower, which is what I recommend, but we're going to do really lightly. I don't want it to be dark. Now, if you're at home, you can obviously use whatever color you want, but we're just going to kind of lightly, I want them to be a light pale pink. So here we go. And some of them, if you put a little extra, ink in a few spaces, that's really pretty too. We're going to lift this up. And just like that, we just have some really pretty soft flowers. Whoa, oh my goodness, and we almost didn't even get those flowers in. Now before I go farther, I'm going to keep doing this all night long because I do want to use these over and over again. So I have paper towel here that's wet, and I have my chamois, which is also wet, and I'm just going along and cleaning these up. Now, if you use baby wipes, you're going to get those little fuzzy things on these little plastic tines. They're almost like plasticky, right? Like cut plastic. So it's a little bit of a bummer to get fuzzies from baby wipes on there. So I recommend a wet paper towel and your chamois if you have one. Now let's go to the green now. This is Old Olive. I've got the leaves lined up. We're going to get here. We're going to do this. I think as the class goes on, we're probably going to be just fine. Oh, my goodness. All right, so just as much green on here as you want. We've stamped it in green and it still doesn't cover all that. So it leaves those lines in there, which is really nice. And it just gives you a nice light green shading. That's the look I was looking for. Green leaves, pink flowers. So pretty. All right, let me cover these up because we've had enough of that for one evening. And we're going to bring in our sentiment piece with fresh freesia. So as mentioned, if you're paying attention at the beginning, maybe you're just popping on now, I'm going to be using the masks pretty much all night. I think 3 out of 4 cards I'm actually using the masks. So I do need to clean them up in between times so that I can continue to use them. And we're going to use purple in so many cards. Now this one I'm using the sentiment that says with love. So let me grab that out and fresh freesia. And I'm putting my sentiment kind of far to the right, because as you can see here, the sentiment's going to come over here. Some of that's going to tuck underneath the leaf, and I want to make sure I have room to get all that on there. All right, let's finish this card up. I'm going to leave fresh freesia off to the side because that color is making a comeback. Now, before we do anything else, we're going to be doing a little die cutting tonight, and the reason is because I wanted to share with you how to struggle through some of the masks. I'm just kidding. The masks are fun. Actually, it's really quick coloring. If you are not a fan of tedious coloring, the masks are the way to go because it is pretty quick. Once you get them lined up. Now I know that you can pay attention to your stamp as you put it on your paper, and you'll be able to, we should die cut this the right way. You'll be able to mask those and color those really nicely. Okay, I had to stop talking for a second so I could concentrate. It's one of those days. All right, here we go. And this is just a really nice, easy die cut right here. We had our sandwich all set up. Nice big outline. I think it's really fantastic, and it just makes it easier, right? So we're going to set this aside. That's going to go onto our card. Let me put my die cutter away, not throw away the die, just the paper. And pop this back onto my magnet sheet so I don't lose it. Pop this back onto my magnet sheet so I don't lose it. So this is what I mean by magnet sheets. I keep my dies on little magnet sheets. Very handy. And we're going to put this card together. So some dimensionals are going to be required here. First, I'm going to glue my little punch sentiment piece down. So this just goes down flat. And I snuck it way over as far as I possibly could here. Maybe we want it down a little bit here too. We don't want it quite covering the entire designer series paper, and that'll leave room for our flower to come on here as well. So glue is nice because you have like a few seconds to wiggle that down a little bit farther, which I just did. Just want to maybe do a dry fit first. Look, there's our accident flower in case you're just tuning in. We had a little bit of a color mix up. Although I'm not adverse to green flowers, like green toned, you know, a little bit of green. It's probably what they, you know, they kind of look like that before they spring forth with beautiful petals, right? All right, so here is our little hydrangea coming on here. And we're just making sure we don't cover up our sentiment. Look how cute that is. This is just a fun, springy, beautiful card, right? I feel like this would be a great birthday card. Now, fortunately for everyone watching, I already made my bows. I did that ahead tonight. I actually had time to create bows ahead, so I sure did. So the struggle bus with the bows, not going to be a thing tonight. So this is Petunia Pop ribbon, and what's nice about all the Stampin' Up! Products is they just really, they color coordinate. So you can get the ribbon that matches your cardstock, that matches your designer paper. I mean, there's no guessing with it. It's just really awesome. And we're going to come in and we're going to do our little embellishments here. These are the Drusy Adhesive Backed Embellishments. They come in 2 sizes, so I'm just using a little bit of a variety here, and large and kind of a medium size. So they're a little bit chunky in thickness, in case you're wondering. They're a little bit thick. But there we go. We got the gold on there. You could certainly use a silver as well. Card number 1, and it's interesting to see the difference with the designer series paper with the floral pattern. It looks so different in each corner. And then we have also the stripe one that was the original. So let my camera just kind of settle in here for a second. And there's card number 1, and it should have been way easier than it was. So let's hope we got all of the jitters out of the way, and we're going to have a really good card class from here. So here we go. I'm just going to use my eraser and try to get rid of some of that glue at the bottom just for a second, because I don't want this to stick to the next card. All right, card number 1 is done. We're going to move on to the second card. Let me set that aside. We're going to bring in another card. And actually, I'm going to jump over to Facebook real quick just to see if I can see you guys. Jess, I love this stripe too. Hi, Linda. Hi, Kelly. Good to see you. Lynn is here. Hi, Sandy. Good to see you too. Oh my gosh. Hi, Jody. We missed you so much on Saturday, but Julie, we saw you, so that was a treat. Oh my goodness. I'm just looking real quick at messages. Hi, Corey. Good to see you. Warm greetings from Colorado. That's exciting. Oh my goodness. Seriously, I cannot imagine right now. All right, I'm bringing in the next bin. Here we go. We're going to come over with the next one. And just like before, I'm going to share with you the card that we created at Bingo, because I didn't really share cards from Bingo yet. For this one, we use the stamp set It's Okay. There are some really sweet sentiments on this one, which is just, they're very encouraging, uplifting, sharing with you in some really deep, thoughts, maybe some hard times and such. So this is a standalone stamp set. It is in the online store. This is the card that we made at Bingo, and it's got the inhale, exhale here. We fussy cut this little butterfly. We stamped Melon Mambo on Pretty in Pink. So again, Pretty in Pink, we've got some Blackberry Bliss. I have this really fantastic, let's see, this is a die cut. What did I use for this die cut? Words and thoughts. There's so many things. This is the die, and I love these dies. I use these quite a bit. I think I used this recently on another card too. Flowers of Beauty dies. This is a really awesome one. Someone had asked me about all those cute little flowers, and I said they come in a die strip. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You cut 8 at a time. You can see I still have some purple ones in here, but I love these sprig type, flower type dies. So I try to sneak them into quite a few things, and I did sneak them into this card. And then we use the Spotlight on Nature dies. Actually, we're going to use the Spotlight on Nature dies again too, in case you're wondering what those are, because I use these quite a bit. There's a lot of circles here. There are 2 different patterns. They're fantastic dies, so in case you're wondering what those all are. All right, now that we've talked about that, let's talk about what goes into this beautiful card kit. And I think I just lost an embellishment. All right, let me just put this back on real quick before I share with you exactly what we've got. I'm going to turn my camera back around so that I can see what you guys see. Okay, so here is our flower card. Isn't that pretty? I love blue flowers, but we have a little bit of that purple tone in here as well. So this is the same card layout, so you can see the layers are the same. I did make bigger circle die cuts for the Thankful Garden card class because the image here is bigger, and this would have gotten lost on this little tiny circle. So what's nice about those Spotlight on Nature circles is you can choose the size that you need for the project that you're using, right? So bigger circles, smaller circles, because we have small butterfly. This butterfly would be lost on these big circles. So, and the patterns are kind of the opposite. We've got the eyelet pattern here with the more stripy ridged pattern here, and that's the opposite there. So this is the card we're going to make next. We are going to get through this card. I know we are together. Thanks for all your love and support. Good thoughts. Send me some happy thoughts. Here's our card kit. So this is Azure Afternoon. Check out the fun little checkered ribbon. I forget to play with these things sometimes. I have this ribbon, and as I was looking for a ribbon that would go nicely with this card, I thought, how cute would this be for this card kit? So you've got Azure Afternoon. As mentioned, you're getting some designer series paper and your Spotlight on Nature die cuts. So you can really go anywhere in any direction with this card. And look at that. I just made a crooked card. Like, obviously I'm dry fitting, but we could actually put these little layers at an angle. If you didn't want to do straight up and down layers, you could, maybe we're going to do that tonight, just for fun. You're also getting a piece that you're going to stamp and do some masking successfully. I know you guys can do this. If I can struggle through it, you can do it. So we're going to mask this one. We're going to stamp our sentiment on here, and you've got your little ribbon. So this is the card kit. We're using Memento ink to outline our flower this time. And we're going to use Boho Blue, Granny Apple Green, and Lemon Lime Twist. Now these may seem like they're kind of like, what are you thinking with the colors? But look at how fun. Loving the blue flowers, and I love this brighter pop. So for each of the cards tonight, we're going to explore different greens, because you know that all of your flowers, they come in so many colors of green, right? So we're going to look for the other, this is the mystery flower. Again, not sure what this is. I tried to do a little bit of research earlier, and I just couldn't quite figure out. Now sometimes they're made up flowers. They're really not even like a real flower. Like this is not a pansy, and it's not a petunia, and it's not a hibiscus. I mean, there's all kinds of flowers out there, right? And I don't know. It's just really pretty though. I do like this flower. So here we go. We've got the Memento. We're going to stamp it here on our white cardstock. And if I mess up, we're going to use the other side of this white cardstock. And there we go. We've got a really great image to start with. I do need to, once again, clean this off because we're doing 4 cards tonight, and we're doing 2 with the hydrangea and 2 with our beautiful, I'm going to just call it beautiful flowers. That's what I'm going to call it. All right, if you guys are commenting about what this is, I just can't see what you're saying right now, but that's okay. I totally trust you. All right, let's start with the boho. Let's go blue here first. So for our, and I wrote up another cheat sheet in case you want to just kind of pay attention and know what I'm doing here. So the flower, we just stamped it in Memento. We're going to use boho ink on both 1 and 2 stencil. So it's giving us some different colors of blue with the 2 different stencils. So you've got some lighter blue and some darker blue. And I wanted you to think about that because sometimes you see these stencils and you see all of the different like options, and you're thinking, oh my goodness, I need to add you know, 3 colors. This is 1 and this is 2. And this would be the third one if we added in a third color. But you know, you don't have to add all of them. Our first card, we just used the very first stencil. We didn't go crazy, right? So, all right, we'll come back to that when we get to our greens. Now this is, again, flowers. This should be a little bit easier. And something I might not have paid attention to is that the number is the facing up. So we're going to use this. And this was a little bit easier to figure out because obviously big flowers on top, little flowers here. So I'm just lining them up just like that. I'm going to open up my boho ink. This is a retiring in color. This one's going away like too soon in my opinion. Run to the boho if you don't have it yet. I love this color, and I think this is the one that I'm going to miss the most. I don't know which color that's retiring that you're going to miss the most. I'm going to miss this one the most. So we're going to come in here and go right over top of our flowers. And I'm not going to go super dark because I am going to be adding the other color. But there's no, you know, you can add as much as you want, just knowing that we're going to add more of this color ink on top. So there we go. There's a nice little layering of boho blue. Look at how pretty it already is. I love it so much. All right, let me see. We're going to clean this off real quick once again. So just a quick wipe here. It doesn't take a lot. And if there's extra water from your paper towel or your chamois, it dries really quickly too. So don't worry about any of that. You have to, you know, it doesn't have to set out for days. All right, so here is our next stencil. And here's what I should have told you, because I'm trying to share my tricks and tips, the ones that really work, not the ones that don't work. So when I had this on here, I'm going to put this back on because it is pretty easy to line up. What I want to do now, since I'm using another mask, is I want to pay attention to where this little notch is, and it's probably really hard to see. I'm going to put this underneath. So there's a little notch right here. So if I know that this little notch is over here, like at 1 o'clock as I go this way, if I line this up right about here, I'm going to be able to figure out a little bit easier where my next stencil needs to be. Okay, so I can line this up. Some of the stencil will actually hit the outline of your stamp, which is helpful, so you'll know if you need to adjust it up or down. But this is exactly where I need it to be. My little notch is pretty much in the same location. I'm going to hold everything nice and tight, and then we're going to ink it up, and we're going to go a lot darker this time. And as we're going darker, this is a smaller opening in the stencil, so it's only getting ink on some of the flower, not all of it. So the first mask was completely open. It inked up absolutely everything, and I'm hoping that my camera, I know it's up a little bit high, hopefully you guys can see. I'm going to try to go like a little bit darker even. Hopefully you can see the difference here as I'm doing this. So here you go. This is what it looks like with 1 and 2. Isn't that awesome? Same color ink. So you got your lighter boho from the first stencil, darker boho from the second stencil. And how quick was that, right? To color that. I didn't have to sit here with squeaky blends. I love blends, by the way. That's my favorite. But this is just so quick and easy when you grab that blending brush and go ahead and ink it up, and then it's done, and it's just gorgeous. Love the blues, by the way, boho. Make sure you get yours. Okay, so now we're going to do the greens. Let me bring in my little cheat note again. So for the leaves, we're going to do lemon lime with stencil 4 and granny apple with 5. Now I try to do the lighter color as the outline. This is our leaf right here. This is number 4. So I'm going to outline this. Looks like I have boho blue ink on something. I'm getting it on my paper. We're okay though. There we go. Lined up, and as mentioned, lemon lime is a little bit lighter and brighter, so we're going to start with lemon lime and do the whole stencil area. I just got to find my blend right here. Lemon lime, here we go, and we're going to just do the whole thing here in lemon lime. Now the nice thing about the stencil is if you go up over the flower right now, it's not cut out over there, so even though it looks like I might be inking up my flower, I am definitely not, and that's fantastic because you don't have to be as careful. You can be wild and crazy with this business going on right here. Let me move my other blends off to the side here. Now we're all done with this one. Lemon lime, kind of a hard color sometimes to use for sure. It's not like the most easy color, but look at the brow. I kind of messed up a little bit and probably went off, but you get the idea, right? The ideas are here. as I'm going crazy with my stencils. All right, a quick swipe here. And we're good there. Now we're going to bring in stencil number 5 in Granny Apple Green. So here's Granny Apple. I'm not going to open that till I'm ready. I know what happens when things get a little bit crazy. I'm looking for number 5. Here it is. Number 5, again, they're numbered up here. So I'm going to put this on and try to line it up a little bit better, I guess. There we go. And I could come back in with my first stencil if I wanted to, but I'm not gonna nitpick tonight. This is just to give you ideas on how to use this. All right, so this is the more detailed, and now we're coming in with Granny Apple. So darker green over top of our lighter green, and just smaller sections of the green. And I think I'm moving my stencil a little bit, but that's okay. Ooh, I love it. I love the dark and light combo there. The Granny Apple and the Lemon Lime are really good buddies. They're like friends. They're next door neighbors, really, in the color family here as well. So they kind of sit next to each other as you're looking at them in the lineup, and they go nicely together. They play very nicely together. So there we go. We have our beautiful flower. All we're going to do is die cut it, and then we're going to put this card together. So let me set aside all my notes and things. We're going to bring the die cutter back in, and then we're going to die cut this one. So here we go. I crank it this way. We've got our plates all set up. I just need to find the die. Hopefully it's not buried somewhere. And that's the hydrangea one. Nope, that's this one. Here we go. It's so pretty. And we're going to make sure we outline it nicely with our die. So we've got the great surround on there. Of course, if you needed to put on some washi tape or some tape that's just going to hold that down temporarily while you die cut, absolutely go that way. But these bigger dies, I just feel like they're a little bit easier to work with. I say that and then I probably cut it crooked, and I did, but I'm okay with that too because it's still pretty. I think most people are going to look at the blue flowers and not my crooked die cut edges. Let's hope that's the case. All right, we have to do some assembly now, and this is going to be easy assembly. We may change it up just a little bit. Let me bring everything back into focus here, and we're going to start putting our Designer Series paper together. Did I mention this is the Bright and Beautiful Designer Series paper? If you're looking for a party card, you've got some really great patterns here that you could maybe, just turn it into a birthday card or something. I almost like it. Ooh, I don't know if I like it enough though. I'm going to think about that for a second while I glue this together. I don't know. I really like the blue and the purple, the softer colors, more so than the vibrant party colors. We're just going to add those together. I think I have to turn these over and go in a different direction, although that's not too bad. This is what you're going to do at home when you get your kit. Now, if you really need the purple, and maybe you don't know, that's kind of purpley too. So playing is fun. It's always fun to play. I think I'm just going to stick with the original idea though, and glue this pretty paper down. And there's a lot of glue again. My goodness, this glue is being very aggressive. So I'm going to bring in a scrap of cardstock. I have them quite handy. And there's a glop of glue right there. I'm just going to spread this way. And then I'm going to throw my paper away and glue this one down. There we go. Someone needs to have a stern talking to that glue bottle. It is being a little bit naughty tonight, for sure. Okay, we're coming back around to this piece now, and I'm gonna keep the blue side up because I do really like it. There's a quick happy medium for too much glue and not enough glue, and so you just have to be really careful that way. All right, now I need to pay attention to which way my card base opens, because I do definitely want to make sure my layers are going on in the right direction. Now you can do different things with these as well, so don't feel like you have to match everything that I'm doing if you have this card kit at home, or if you're making something similar. Some of you can kind of watch what I'm doing and you're like, yep, I can definitely just recreate that all on my own, and that is awesome. I'm probably going to be a little crazy with some dimensionals here. I might even go with a couple more. Sometimes it's hard to tell how many do you need. In this case, a lot. I'm going to recommend as many as makes you happy. I go through a lot of dimensionals too. This is something that I'm constantly ordering on my at every order, right? I'm like, okay, and add in dimensionals. It's one of those things that I like to get them in as often as possible because I go through them so quickly. All right, so I'm going to offset this layer here. So we just have just a really cute little a card layout. This is going to go on, I was going to say flat, but I guess I put it on dimensional. So there you go. What's really nice about not having to watch this long video again, if you wanted to make these cards, is with my card kits, I also send out written directions. I have card PDFs, picture of the finished card. I have all the measurements, all the products that I use in them, and then step by step, like first do this, second do this. So in those directions, you're going to see all of those great things. And it'll tell you when I use dimensionals and when I glue it. When I just say adhere it, you're going to glue it flat. And if I say add dimensionals, you're going to add dimensionals. So it's really that easy once you get these kits. So we're going to go ahead and put this on, and I feel like this flower right here, my second flower, is much bolder and prettier than my first flower, so I'm kind of excited about that. We need to do our sentiment piece. Now for this one, I chose the sentiment that says, "You make a difference." Some of it gets hidden by the bow sometimes, right? And I chose to use Memento because I wanted to kind of accent the black and white check ribbon, the black outline on our stamped flower. And I need to find my sentiment that says, "You make a difference." So we're just going to ink this up in the Memento ink. You could definitely choose to use a color ink pad if you wanted to. You could use the Azure Afternoon. You could go purple if you wanted to. There's lots of options. I'm going to put it right about there. Your paper should have a little bit of room that you can go in either direction. I love this font. I'm a font nerd. I don't know if you guys are the same. I love font, and it just, like, when I have awful handwriting, and I love seeing the font. So how pretty is that? I adore that. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and guess what? We're going to put this on with dimensionals. I just put them away. Let me pull them back out. You know why I put them away? Because if I didn't put them away, they would get lost. But when I put them away, then I have to pull them out. There's like no winning sometimes. You're in your craft room. They get hidden behind things. All right, I'm going to use 3 this time. 1, 2, 3. This is just one of those little leftover skinny strips. When you cut mats, you're going to get some of these left over. And I save them for any sentiment that will work. So I don't actually cut these specifically for this purpose. I cut they're leftover pieces. So right here, "You make a difference." How pretty is that? Oh my goodness, I am loving this card. Hey, guess what? I don't have to do this ribbon, I think. Do I not have a bow? Hold, please. It's right here. I just saw it 2 seconds ago. Now I lost it again. Oh my gosh, this is so worth it. Where did it go? Ta-da! Here it is. Struggling tonight. Okay, so I did all my bows ahead, and I sure am glad I did, because my goodness. It might be one of those nights where I just said, never mind, doesn't need a bow. It looks great without it, but I am sending you this really sweet little checkered ribbon in your card kit, and that's kind of crooked, so we're going to fix that. Okay, here we go. There's a dog here that I need to remove. There we go. Even better, and just like so. So here it is. I like to zhuzh up my ribbons a little bit and make them fluffy and cute. Now obviously in shipping and mailing, they're probably going to get squished flat, but we can always hope that the person that receives the card will know how to fix the ribbon to make it pretty and then pop it on display, because these are display keepers. All right, so I'm going to bring in the silver gems this time. Get that off my take your pick tool, and we're just going to put this in here just like this, 1 and 2, and then I have another one on the bottom here. So I like to use 3 embellishments, that little triangle. And how pretty is this? Oh my gosh, so gorgeous, right? I love the blue flowers. I actually like the card I just made better than my original. I like this card better. So hopefully you guys are loving these cards too. We are 2 in. We've got 2 more to go. And I'm just going to clean up for just a second while you look at this pretty card and tell me if you like it. And we're going to try to decide where I want to put this next. Okay. Let me check comments real quick. See what you're thinking of my cards, and then we're going to jump into card number 3. Okay. Looking to see, and just likes the darker flowers. I know, I love the blue. So awesome. Okay, just checking. Oh yeah, Lynn agrees about the boho blue is so pretty, right? Oh my gosh, so awesome. Okay, let's move this one aside and let's go into card number 3. So card number 3 is going to be a little bit different because why not, right? We have to have different cards. We can't continuously repeat the same things over and over. All right, so let me show you what we use in the bingo class. This one was a fun one, Adventure Together. So when we use Adventure Together, there's actually dies that go with this too, and I don't have them out right now. But this was the card that we created. So again, the sky background, and then it's got some trees in it, so you can see the trees here. This was actually more fun to play with than I anticipated it would be. I think the little camper here, the happy camper, and we always do, I forgot to show you insides of the other ones, but at my camps and such, we always do the inside sentiment as well. So the card that we're going to compare this to, right? So the same pattern basically is this one right here with our flowers. So instead of putting the camper in the trees over here, we put flowers over here, and I love it. Absolutely love these colors. This is the card we're going to make next. So this is going to use my newest favorite obsession as these rectangle dies. These are the textured notes dies. You can see again how many layers there are, how many textures there are. I adore them. This little sentiment piece actually is going to come to you from the Unbounded Love dies. So I grabbed one of these little labels here. These are fantastic for I pull these out quite frequently for sentiments because there's so many options in label sizes and such. So I use that on this card. And I also have a different sentiment from our Thankful Garden. There is no thinking of you in our Thankful Garden. And I thought we should be thoughtful. So I chose a different stamp set to grab another sentiment out. Since our Thankful Garden doesn't have a lot of sentiments, I grabbed out Simply Sad. I've been pulling this one quite frequently because it has pretty much everything in it that I would want. It's got your thank you, your hello, just a note, birthday wishes, thanks, happy birthday, thinking of you, let's celebrate you. So this is a great one if you just need a basic sentiment stamp set. This is photopolymer. So you can see I use happy birthday quite a bit. This is very pink. But anyway, Simply Said is a great simple stamp set that you can use if you need to for some sentiments. So let's put this one together. We're going to need Berry Burst. We're also going to need Shy Shamrock, and I need to borrow Shy Shamrock from our last card. So let me grab that out real quick because we need these two colors. This is a pretty simple card. And I want to say we're missing a color. We're missing Blackberry Bliss. Also Blackberry Bliss. Come on down, Blackberry Bliss. You're next. It's like a game show. I love game shows. So Blackberry Bliss has joined the party. So these are the colors for our card. And this is Pebbled Path, another gray color that I love. And in color that's retiring. I'm really sad about this one too. Boho and this one, they're like neck and neck in my favorite. Like, why are you retiring? And we have a little bit of gray granite in here too. Now the designer series paper for this one is something you may remember. It's been out for a while. Let me see. Let me read my notes here. Thinking of You. Nature's Sweetness is what this designer series paper is. It has the gold foil in it, and it has some script as well. So make sure that when you put this on, you're actually putting it on right side up because you will be able to see a little bit of this. Now this is some gold ribbon. This comes from a pack of ribbon that has gold and silver. So you get this as a 2-pack. So this is the gold, and then there's a silver as well, in case you're wondering where this comes from. All right, let's take a look at the card parts and pieces in your kit that you're getting this week with your ordering. And we have all kinds of stuff, and I also have some extra stuff. So let me swoosh that aside. So we don't want to spoil everything right away. So again, those beautiful rectangles that I love and adore. You're getting gray granite and white. This is a little die piece from Unbounded Love. This is going to be our sentiment piece. You're going to use these two pieces with the bundle, and you're going to die cut your leaves. You're going to we're going to stamp the flowers. Let's do that. The rest of this is pretty explanatory. So we're going to get to that, but let's talk about the dies here. I need to move this card out of the way. And this Adventure Together stamp set, because I'm starting to stack stuff up kind of deep over here. All right, so the dies that you're going to use for the leaves are kind of those bonus leaves that I talked about earlier. So move the dog hair off your cardstock and die cut. This is how I do it. So you're going to put them here. You're going to be able to get both of them on at the same time. So I'm giving you enough that they're not too squished together, but you're going to get these two leaves, and this is what they're going to look like after you die cut them. Just note that this one, super fun. This one, super delicate. There's some really thin lines here, so just be careful. We're going to sponge these a little bit and we're going to deepen them down. I love to add ink to cardstock to bring it alive. I feel like it's like life-giving. So we're going to sponge these in a minute. Let me move these aside. So now that you know what to do with that, you're like, okay, got it. Now we're going to talk about the little flowers on here. So hopefully everything is looking good. I haven't been paying attention to my camera screen for a few minutes. Okay, so here we go. We're going to do something fun with the flowers, and I'm going to need a little scrap paper to do this on because we're going to kind of stamp off. So this is Berry Burst. This is Blackberry Bliss. And they're good color buddies too. Now we're going to take the fun flower that is unknown to me at this time. And if you look at this, I don't know if you can tell or not, but I have like pink staining only on part of it, and that's because I only have inked up part of it in Blackberry Bliss. So what I'm going to do is, once again, I'm just going to ink up this corner of my stamp because I only need this section, because what we're going to do is die cut out this flower, right? So I want you to stamp this in one corner and then turn your paper, ink up that corner one more time, and you have enough room to get it stamped again. And also, as I did this, I thought, how fun would this be to use this as a background stamp? Because this looks kind of neat, actually, right? So what we're going to do, first of all, we're going to close this. I have lots of ink all over my fingers tonight. And that means things are going good. Things are going good. I'm going to just wipe this off real quick and move this aside. My poor little half-stained stamp. It's kind of funny, but I wanted to show you that that's what happens. Your inks will stain your photopolymer stamps, but they're definitely good to go once you clean them up. They are not going to transfer ink. So this is that little die I talked about at the beginning of the class, and that it would die cut out the smaller of the flowers. So you're going to die cut it here, turn your paper over, die cut it here. I recommend, before you do that, I recommend you just chop this in half and then die cut them one at a time, because if you put this paper all the way through your die cutting machine twice, it's going to get extra wrinkly. Now if you want the texture, hey, that's awesome, you just kind of embossed, but I like to have nice, clean, pretty flowers that don't look too wrinkly, and this is what they look like after they're die cut. So just like that. And we're going to bring in, now we're going to do a little bit of some ink playing. Let's do Berry Burst on the flowers this time instead of green, like my first card where I kind of went rogue and forgot what I was doing. So this time I'm just going to use a sponge dauber, and I'm doing that because I have just a small section and I don't want to like coat my entire flower with ink. I'm just trying to get the outside edges just to give them a little bit of oomph. So just like that, there's one done, and the difference when you look at them, right, is kind of night and day, really. So we're going to do that again with this one. And it just makes it look really pretty. You can go in a little bit more if you want randomly. I do. I tend to like over ink some of it and go, oh, but then it looks good. So don't be shy with your ink. Okay, there we go. That's done, just like that. Now we're going to bring in Shy Shamrock, and we're going to do kind of the same thing with leaves. And remember, we have to be careful because especially this guy right here, it's very delicate. So we're going to get really inky fingers because I'm really going to hold up a lot of this with my fingers rather than let it be like way in the air. I want it to be kind of snug to my fingers, and I'm gonna have to wipe them off a little bit. I know I am, but I'm just kind of kissing the edges here, kind of like a little bit of a frost might do on your leaves. So just a little bit of green on there, nothing crazy. If you want to do the stem, I recommend just putting it down on something and just kind of pouncing some ink on it, and that way, you know, some of it will be on there as well. But you don't want to hold that one necessarily. That's going to be really hard to get that on there. We're going to do the same thing here again with the leaves. This is Shy Shamrock. This color, in color from last year, it's going to stick around for another year. This is really great. I'm reaching for this quite a bit right now. It is like the perfect shamrock. Like, you know, here we go. It's St. Patrick's Day. Beautiful color. So, and I'm really liking it now way more than I liked it when it first came out. So I don't know why. It takes me a little bit of time, I think, sometimes to warm up to the colors. Let me wipe for a second here. While we're hanging out and chatting, I'm going to just try to get some ink off my fingers before I pick up this white label and go ahead and bring in Blackberry Bliss and the Thinking of You. So remember, the Thinking of You is not from the Thankful Garden stamp set. It is from Simply Said stamp set. So we're just going to ink this up. Photopolymer, it just makes it kind of easy to get that on there. I know it's a small label, but it will fit perfectly. Love it. Okay, now we are on to the assembly part. So that wasn't too bad, right? I think I need all of these colors. Maybe not. I need these colors. As mentioned, we are using a lot of purple today. So I hope you guys are, all of my purple fans, woohoo to you, shout out. I hope you're enjoying the purple class, because I feel like kind of this is what we got going on tonight. Okay, here we go. We're going to bring in all our parts and pieces and do some assembly. So you get lots of layers with my cards because I am a fan of layers. Now this is the back side, not as attractive with the gray. I would not recommend this pecan pie graph, but if you wanted to, you sure could. We're going to put this right here on the gray granite mat, and then this is going to come down onto our card base. Add some glue and adhere. I'm just lining that up. Each of these is 1/4 of an inch smaller as we cut along. Now this is also from that Nature's Sweetness DSP, so again the gold foil on there. Yeah, we're not using the back. Not a chance we're going to flip that over. That doesn't even make sense. Now I put this onto a little piece of Berry Burst cardstock because this is kind of a darker card. I actually almost feel like this could be a sympathy card because it's got those dark tones in it, and I wanted to brighten it up a little bit with the flowers. My original thought was just to keep it just dark from beginning to end and have it be a sympathy card, but then I thought, no, I kind of want it to be fun, more fun. I mean, it's still kind of a somber card, I feel like, just because of the colors, but it really is that bright green and pink together. So lovely. All right, I'm just going to adhere together my little rectangles here, and then I'm going to pop this over and put some dimensionals on it because it's time to start putting on some layers, right? So this time I think we're going to go with like 5 of these guys. There we go. And we are going to get this on right over here, just like about so. Okay, now we're going to bring in our leaves. We're going to put this one flat. So I did a mixture of how I added these in. So I'm just going to dot those little leaves there and kind of pop this on here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to bring in our flowers. So I'm going to flip these upside down, and I'm just going to put a dimensional in the middle of each, and that gives me, whoops, a little bit of play. My fingers must be sticky. They kind of, those flowers just jumped right back at me. All right, so we're going to just bring these in here. A little bit of play. We're going to pop them up, and you can kind of arrange them artfully, right? Be your little florist. Now for the for this piece, I also popped up 2 of them on dimensionals. So the leaves here, at least I think I did. You know, so I say these things and then sometimes I'm like, is that what I really did? I just wanted some of them to be up and some of them to be down. And we're going to glue the top one here just a little bit. There are, that was a little aggressive again. We're going to bring in another scrap and we're going to squish this out a little bit. I don't want too much glue. There's these little slits in the leaves and the glue will just goosh right out of them. So just keep that in mind when you're working with die cuts. They have those little things going on. You could, in theory, I did not take the dimensional backing off. My leaves are sliding around over here and I'm like, what is going on? So if you want them to stick, I recommend you take the back of the dimensionals off first and then do your best to just pop that on there. Okay, so there we go. I might adjust this a little bit. It's kind of sneaking there a little bit behind there, but you get the idea. This one is kind of behind quite a bit. I think I tucked that one under on that one, but we're going to go ahead and add this on now. And I'm just going to glue that flat right about here, so that's kind of off a little bit, but also enough on that I don't have to worry about a dimensional on this end over here. So we have enough support right there, thinking of you. Now, the bow with the ribbon. Did I have a bow with it? I do. It's my lucky day. No, I don't. What did I do? I do. Oh, here it is. I thought it was still attached to this bowl. Okay, little bit of bow here with the gold. So it's really reflecting all of this beautiful gold that's on here. Again, I'm going to use a little bit of tear and tape, pop this down. So this is just a sweet little card that shows you that you don't always have to use the stencils. You don't always have to use the whole flower even, right? You can just add in whatever little sections that you want. I really like this combination here as well. Okay, so there's a little bit of tear and tape. I'm just bringing this down kind of where my stems cross, just to catch that on the bottom. And then we're going to bring in some of these great gold embellishments because they just finish the card off perfectly, right? Just you have to use the gold. I feel that it's very important to have that matching beautifulness. Okay, so there we go. And I didn't make any changes at all to this card other than the way that the flowers and leaves work, right? So no two cards are really ever the same, but it gives you the idea of how those go together. So there we go. Oh, this was my cheat notes. The flowers I stamped in Blackberry Bliss, sponged in Berry Burst, and the leaves I sponged in Shy Shamrock. So I did make a little cheat note for that. I totally forgot. So there's card number 3. We have one more card. Hope you guys are enjoying the class. I'm just going to check to make sure everything looks good over here real quick. And make sure, Jody, you're so cute. All right. Checking on everybody. Looks like we're doing good. All right, we're going to go into our last card. Now, let me move this aside. Now, the last card, we're going to get really, really crazy with some ink. I have a lot of ink colors for this one. Let me grab out my ink pads. They go with these. I think we're using six colors of ink. Now, the card that I designed for the bingo was it was one that I got an idea from Pinterest, actually. So, these are some of the things that I'm using. I'm just going to share with you what we're using as I move stuff aside here. And so Stylish Shapes, my favorite dies in the world. I mean, I talk about the rectangles a lot lately, but these are go-to as well. Oh, this would go over here. That's why it's not fitting. Stylish Shapes, absolutely love them. The wood grain, this is timber, gives you a wood grain embossing look. And then, of course, the arch dies. Love those too. And then we use the Umbrella Days stamp and dies, and we created a card that looked like, now again, Everyday Skies was our designer series paper, so we were able to get the sky in here. This is the Umbrella Girl. We called her Umbrella Girl. She's got little mud puddles here. Banner. Here's our banner die from Stylish Shapes, the arch die. So this was the card that was inspiring my Thankful Garden card. So this is the Thankful Garden card. So again, I want you to see the layout. Changing colors, absolutely, but the patterns and the ideas are kind of very similar. So I want to share with you this card tonight. So we're going to make this next, and super lovely card. Let me get some of these things out of the way, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the arch. And so die cutting and embossing. We're going to still talk about this because I'm not done sharing tips. Before I jump in now, let's look at all the inks because there's a few here. Again, heavy on the purple tonight. I hope you guys love this color combo as much as I do. Crumb Cake, Petunia Pop, Shaded Spruce, Fresh Freesia, Blackberry Bliss, Shy Shamrock. Super fabulous colors together. Lots of purples and greens. You can see them all here in our card, right? Let's get out our card kit so you can see how this is going to arrive to you. So this one has so much fun. Ribbon. So again, a nice little ribbon. So all of the card kits come with ribbon this week. Here's your Stylish Shape banner for your sentiment piece. This is going to be the piece we're going to do our best ever masking on with all the ink colors. And then this is your Fresh Freesia base. You're getting a piece of the Perennial Lavender DSP. And if you really want to be purpley, please consider flipping your paper over. This piece right here is going to come to you with the die cut from the banner, which is right here. and the embossing from the timber. You're getting this. You're not actually getting this because I'm not going to mail an extra piece that you don't need, but I know that you're like, oh, that's really cool. So what I wanted to talk to you about was when my girls were working at the bingo class, they were asking me, what should I do first? Should I die cut or emboss first? And for those that asked and hadn't already done half of the procedure, my recommendation is to die cut first, and here's why. So when you die cut a piece of white cardstock that isn't embossed, you have a really great piece here that you can use. You can stamp on this for another card project. If you emboss it first and then die cut it, this piece is embossed, and certainly you could use it again on another card, but you wouldn't be able to stamp on it. It would just be a textured piece. So there's the difference between the two. So I would definitely die cut first and remove this piece. Now you're going to put it through into your embossing folder. The 3D embossing folder is kind of set up a little bit, to me, sideways. So we want the up and down orientation if you have this at home. So the up and down orientation goes in like this. There's a black line here to help you line this up, but then turn it into your die cutting machine and put the folded edge, the crease together, the together edge in first, right? So that's how that's coming to you. But I wanted to kind of talk to you about the process, just in case you're at home and you're like, yep, I'm going to make this card. I like this card. I got all the stuff I need. I'm going to do it. There's my best tip. So that's the best way to go. Now I may, tonight during class, I think I'm going to just do it. We're going to flip this over. Let's put this on first. So dark purple it is. You guys, I heard all of the dark purple fans out there going, please use the dark side of the purple so we can see purple on purple. You're welcome. Here we go. So this is just going to come on here, right here, like so. And this piece is going to be put on with embellishment, dimensionals. I'm just looking at it to decide which side I want. There is a debossed and an embossed side, and it does make a difference. So when you're looking at home, kind of check it out. Think about that for just a second. Give that some thought. What would you prefer? Which side up? Now we're going to put these dimensionals all along the edges, and we're going to pop this up over top of our designer series paper. Now you could, yes, absolutely, you could do this flat if you wanted to. The reason I like it popped up a little bit is it just gives it really great interest, right? Like you can see through the arch to see what's going on behind it, not just layered on top. So the bad thing with all these dimensionals is you got to take a minute to get all the backings off. And I'm usually pretty quick at it, but when there's this, I have to hold this like a little bit at a time because it's bendy. It takes me a little bit longer. Also, these backings get everywhere. I feel like I find them in every room of my house. I think they follow me out of the craft room and they wander my house aimlessly, and I don't know what they're looking for, but I wish they would stop. Okay, here we go. We're going to just put this on here. This is the tricky part when you got this on dimensionals, is getting this on here straight, right? Not too crooked. So there we go. I look at this and I'm like, I probably could have die cut that a little bit more evenly, but I'm okay with that process as we go. Now let's do the really important part. We're going to talk about how we're going to make this beautiful flower. So I do have my cheat notes here as well. Look at this great purple. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited about this purple. Okay, we're going to stamp first. We're going to stamp. We're bringing back in the hydrangea flower. I think I cleaned the green off, but you know what? I see some on my block, so I'm going to just like adjust the ink tone of my clear block here to clear. Okay, so with our hydrangea flower, we're actually going to do this in crumb cake. This is going to give us a lighter image, and if you like the no line coloring, this is going to be similar to that. So it's going to be really, I'm going to turn it back upside down again. It's going to be really light, but depending on where your ink ends up, you'll be able to see a little bit of the crumb cake, and it really does turn out nicely. So we're going crumb cake first, and get that on there and get a nice image. So you can see it's light. It's a light color, and it's also it's still a natural color, like, right? It's a color you would see in nature and in flowers, because yes, sometimes there's brown, dying off flower petals and leaves and such. So it's not an unnatural color to use. In case you were thinking, why in the heck would you use brown? That is why. I feel like it works really nicely. Okay, let's bring in my cheat sheet, and we're going to talk about our ink. We're going to do the flowers first. Let's get all of our purples out so that we can see the purple palette. We're going to start with the lightest, which is Fresh Freesia. We're going to go to Petal Pop, and then we're going to go to Blackberry Bliss. So these are the 3 colors we're using in our flowers. I'm going to stack these up in the order that we're going to use them. Fresh Freesia, you are up first, and we're using the stencil number 1. So let me see if I can find stencil number 1. Here it is, stencil number 1. Let us see how easily we can just get this lined up quickly, perhaps. I'm just putting some positive vibes out in the world that, wouldn't it be great if I could line this up without taking another hour and 15 minutes to do so. And here we go. We got it. We got it. We got it. I think it was right there. Was it? Yes. Yes, I did it. Sweet. All right, I'm noting right now that my little notch is right here. Now, if you had a background paper, you could take a pen or some such, right, and just kind of mark like, okay, there's where my notch needs to be. Again, this is just me doing my crazy wing it and see what happens. This is the fun part of being artistic, is that it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be exact. It could be as beautiful as you want it to be and everything that you need it to be, right? So this is your creativity. If you want to take your time and be really, really articulate, that's okay. If you want to be like, I'm just going to wing it, that's okay, right? There's no wrong here. Okay, so there it is, number 1, done. Oh, really pretty, Fresh Freesia. Now, right now, it doesn't look like too much because we haven't added all the fun popping colors into it. I do want to continue to clean my masks as I go. It's just a really good habit to get into. And again, really simple with wet paper towel and my chamois. All right, so let's put aside this one. Let's go on to Petunia Pop. Now we're going to do stencil number 2. I'm going to put my Fresh Freesia blend over here out of the way so I don't grab the wrong one. Fresh Freesia, oh no, Petunia Pop. You are number 2. Let's find, that's number 3. That's not the one we want, Julie. We want number 2. Now, with my notch, I kind of know it needs to go over here. And then I try to line it up at the same time. So then I'm like, does this make sense? I feel like it went this way. Okay, I got it right about. Little fine-tuned dialing in here. And we got it. We're dialed in. Okay. We are doing Petunia Pop next, and I'm trying to not move that too far. So again, the outline of the stencil will match the outline of your stamp. Ooh, look at the purple coming down here. This is so exciting. Oh my gosh. So you can see as you go too, like some of it stays light, some of it gets darker, and it's just fabulous. I love the masks. I don't know if you guys are like mask fans as well. All right, so there's number 2. You can really see, I'm going to say this, the color is popping. The color of the Petunia Pop is popping here on our beautiful hydrangea. Now, I'm making purple, a lot of purple cards tonight, and I don't quite know why I went really purpley, but that's where I went with these, and it was just pretty to work with. Hydrangeas, we all know, come in lots of colors. You know, you got the pinks, you've got the blues, so feel free to experiment with other colors as well. We're going to bring in our last purple color, Blackberry Bliss. This is a really dark color, and we're going to use stencil number 3 for this one. So let me find stencil number 3, which is going to be the smallest details as we go. They get a little bit smaller in detail. We're going to line this one up, and with my notch knowledge, I figured out where my notch needed to be on my work surface. So as you go, it does get easier. Thank you for watching me struggle through card number 1 when I couldn't get stencil 1 lined up right out of the gate. I was like, whoa, this could be a long class, but we got it. So I'm just going to put in some dark Blackberry Bliss here. Again, there's not a lot of spaces that are getting inked. I'm trying to make sure I'm catching them all. I might have gone off a little bit on that one, but that's okay. We're going to get the idea. Here we go. Ready? Look at how cool it is to have all those colors in your little bouquet of flowers, right? So beautiful. All right, that's the beauty of the masks right there. Just a little bit of ink, right? Easy peasy coloring. I love the blender brushes for it. You could do the daubers as well. You could definitely do the daubers as well in case you don't have the blending brushes. You could also use sponge wedges if you just had like little pieces of sponge. Definitely lots of ways to do it. All right, let's do our greens. Let's talk about green now. We're bringing in Shy Shamrock. We talked about this one a little bit earlier. And Shaded Spruce. They're really great together. You can see the tones of these greens are just like they're a match made in green heaven. I love green, by the way. So here we go. Shy Shamrock is first. Over here on my little cheat note, it says stencil number 4. So I just got to find stencil number 4 over here in my leaf collection. And this time we're doing these leaves. So the other card we did this leaf. We're doing this one. And of course the first stencil should be the easiest to line up. I'm noting my notch is right up here. Kind of a side note here. Shy Shamrock. Here we go. I'm going to hold these down and ink it up. Quickest coloring ever, unless you're two-step stamping, of course, right? So it's pretty much the same thing. Two-step stamping, but we're shading it. Look how quickly and beautifully that came out. So gorgeous. Okay, and if you wanted to stop right there, you're like, nope, I am good. I don't need to add another color. Then you can definitely stop right there. You don't, use as many stencils as you want. Use whatever colors you want. You could come back in with Shy Shamrock and do the detail if you didn't want to go to another darker leaf stencil color. Here we go. This is number 5. We're bringing in Shaded Spruce. So we're going to pop this on over here. Whoops. And this time I'm going to try to line the stem up too. Look at that. I think I got it. Okay, Shaded Spruce. The last little bit of, we're not going to use Shy Shamrock blending brush, Julie. We're going to use Shaded Spruce. This is why I label them, and I try to check before I use them. I label them so I know which one is which. And it's just super handy to have one of each color. I don't have to worry about washing them. I don't have to worry about mixing colors with colors. So this is a really a great thing to do if you are of interest. So look at that. We've got that dark green in there too with our beautiful purples. I love this color palette. This entire color palette of purples and greens is, I think, one of my favorites. It's the blue tones of the purple and the green here. So we've used Old Olive, we've used Granny Apple and Lemon Lime, and we used just Shy Shamrock, and now we're using Shy Shamrock with the Shaded Spruce. So there we go. I'm going to set aside my chamois, and we're going to do our sentiment and some assembling. And then we're going to take a look at all the, oh, you know what? Let's die cut first, shall we? Let me move my blending brush out of the way so I don't, oh, and I just got ink all over my fingers. So we're going to try this, and then we're going to bring in our die cutting machine one last time. We're going to die cut this. Now, if you didn't want to, you could definitely stamp your big flowers on a piece of paper similar to this, and you don't have to die cut them. This would be a lovely layer on a card just like this. But I just really appreciate the dies when I'm able to die cut, because I feel like it just makes them super special. So here we go. We're going to die cut our beautiful multiple color hydrangea. On our first card, in case you're just tuning in, we went really, really simple. We did one color of ink, and it was pretty in pink, and just a nice light color, so you can see how gorgeous that is. So there's lots of different ways that you can use these products. You don't have to go all out if you don't want to, but it is kind of nice to see how it would work if you did, right? So let's do our sentiment. Thankful for you, friend. And I'm going to do the sentiment in Blackberry Bliss because it is the darkest color and it'll show up the nicest. So here we go. This is going to go on the banner die cut. This die cut is coming your way in your card kit. It's from the Stylish Shapes dies, one of my favorites. So recently I was using the stamps that are the cling red rubber, and I've been using so much photopolymer. I feel like there's a lot of photopolymer. I forgot how nice photopolymer just, it lines up so effortlessly. So that was able to be stamped and be beautiful. Now I'm sending you this ribbon, this iridescent ribbon, and what you can do with it if you want to kind of do a faux bow is just bend it back and forth so that you have like 3 layers. So you've got one tail at the bottom and one at the top, and if you squish them together in the middle, it almost looks like a bow, right? So you've got your kind of loops here, your tails here. So I kind of set it onto my paper in that manner, and it's always nice to have something to hold it down for a second while you search for some tape. So that's how I recommend you do that. Now you can squish this back together. If it doesn't have to be all big and loopy, but that's kind of the idea of what I'm doing here. And you know what? What I wanted to do was, I wanted to put my hydrangea down first. So I'm just going to set this aside now that I've showed you that. Oh no, that's not going to work. Look at that. Okay, we're not doing that. We're going to do this first. Let's do our hydrangea. New plan. All right, we're going to come back in with some more dimensionals because I want some of this to be popped up. So I know that if I put this right about here, look at how gorgeous it is on purple. Wow. Okay, so right about here I want one. I'm putting them on the background paper. Sometimes it's just easier to do that. And then I'm going to put one, I know I need one here. And that might be good, just like that. So I'm going to also add a little bit of glue. Look at that fancy glue. Super fancy. All right, I'm going to take my dimensional off of here and off of my background paper. We're going to put this pretty flower down. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to see how this looks when it's all set. Okay, so this is going to come right about here. Absolutely gorgeous already. Oh, I think I like this one better. All right, let's come back to the ribbon. We're gonna do our swooshy thing again in case I went too fast for you. So I'm kind of holding it in my hand like this, and I'm gonna come back, and then I'm gonna come up. Okay, so that kind of gives you an idea of how that's gonna work. We're gonna bring in the tear and tape now, and we're gonna come right across this ribbon, and we're gonna make sure we catch it so that it's all the way across, just like so. So there's a little bow behind it. I'm gonna bring in my take your pick tool and just grab off the backing from the tape so that it's exposed there. And then we're gonna put in our beautiful sentiment piece. It's gonna go right over top. So I'm actually gonna layer a couple of these down here so that we have them just like that. And then this is gonna come across and just catch, I don't know if I need an extra one. I don't think I do. I'm going to leave this just like so. Grab, oh, is that one? Yep, nope. Let's get the sticky off of there. There we go. And then the end of this, I'm just going to put a little tiny bit of glue like right at the very end because it's going to come across, if all goes accordingly, it's going to come across the edge and it's going to hit the frame over here at just the right spot to kind of tuck that in. All right, hopefully. We're gonna just hold on to that for just a second. And there we go, just like so. Beautiful. Okay, my ribbon isn't quite as happy as I wanted it to be. There, I think I pulled that down just a little bit to make it a little bit prettier and happier. And then we need our bling. So I chose the silver bling for this one. I felt like the silver, the whiteness of the silver just looked really good with all this white. Oh, look at how pretty. That's so nice. Okay, so I need to know at home right now, are you loving the dark purple or do you prefer the original card with the crumb and the purple? Because it's very light pattern there. I'm trying to decide where I want this one to go. I guess we'll just stick with where we were at there. There we go. Oh my goodness, look at how gorgeous this card turned out. I love the purple. I didn't think I would when I made the card originally. I was like, wow, that's going to be too bold and bright. But now I'm like, it's just right. I adore it. All right, so let's grab out all our cards tonight. Take another look at what's in your card class. So this is the beautiful purple hydrangea. And I always ask, okay, what was your favorite card? Here was this card right here. Really pretty, right? And then we have this card right here. This was our second card. And no order, right? So really pretty blue. And then we have, oh, we started out with this cute little pink hydrangea flower. Look at how beautiful those all turned out. I have to say, as I'm looking at them, this is my favorite. This purple card is my absolute favorite of all of them. Okay, so that's awesome. I just wanted to make sure that you guys could check it all out. All right. The original, oh, Michelle likes the original number 4. That's awesome. Julie likes both. Janice likes the dark purple. I'm trying to read your comments. So Kelly likes the dark. Number 4 is your favorite. Me too, Kelly. I love that whole layout. Yeah, so I need new glasses. So I'm having I'm using the bifocals now of my glasses to see things. So yeah, that's where I'm struggling tonight with my computer. So there we go. I'm glad you were loving these cards. Thank you so much. So this was the Thankful Garden card class. You get 4 of these card kits in the mail with your order this week. And then I want you to stay tuned because Card Maker Club is for everyone. If you're a demonstrator, you can still do Card Maker Club. If you're a hobby demonstrator, if you are just a customer and love to stamp, Card Maker Club's for everyone. You do get some consumable products and you get 8 card kits, 4 cards, 4 card designs, 2 each of those. And they're going to be using the Thankful Garden bundle, and they're going to be beautiful, but they're also going to be different from what we're using tonight. So I'll have some sneak peeks of those hopefully soon. I'm a little behind like I normally am, and I'm heading to Stampin' Up! Convention. So Thursday I am flying down to Raleigh, and I'm so excited. I won't be returning until Sunday. So normally I ship your card class, in this case the one that I just shared with you right now, the Thankful Garden card class, would normally ship on a Monday. It's going to be a little backed up as well because I'm just coming back into town on Sunday. I'm going to say I'll probably have your card kits in the mail by Tuesday, Wednesday at the latest. So these ones are going to take a little bit longer to get to you. So please be patient. Follow me here on Facebook to see all my fun adventures in North Carolina. I am looking so forward to all the fun and all the good things. I will be sharing lots of pictures too. So I can't wait to come back and talk to you next Monday about my entire convention experience. So thank you guys for hanging out with me and checking out this card class. Please continue to comment. I'll read through them when I can actually see all of them. Okay, you guys are loving different things. Oh my gosh. Jody, yes. I need to come see you for glasses. Yeah, I need help, like desperately. So anyway, all right, thank you guys so much. I appreciate you. And until next time, stay inspired, create something beautiful, and share the love. Bye, everybody.